Hey everybody, so hopefully you can see me clearly. Hopefully the lighting is just right. Hopefully, all of this looks, nice. Because I was having a bit of trouble with the setup today. Usually I leave my camera on my light, but I had to take it off because I needed to charge my battery. So yeah. Disclaimer, my hair looks really frizzy. I did it, I want to say last week, or maybe this is going on. Yeah, this is like ending of week 2, and it's gonna have to come out like week 3 because it just looks old. But whatever, it's okay. I haven't had to touch it in the last couple of days, and so for that, I'm grateful. Anyway, I wanted to make this video earlier today, but I had to dog sit, so that prohibited me from being able to make the video earlier when I looked fresher, when I wasn't as tired. And of course, whenever you're tired, I yawn. Whatever. Anyway, so I wanted to make the video earlier, but I couldn't, so I'm making it now. And I just wanted to stress the importance of encouraging yourself in this video. I often ask myself, like, what was my YouTube channel for? Like, who was I making it for? What would I mainly be talking about? And as of lately, of course, I've just been talking about my progression and where I'm at and all that type of stuff, while also, doing my best to make sure that I say something that could be applied to, everyone else's life as well, no matter if you're young, if you're my age, if you're older, whatever. Whoever comes across the video, I want it to be something that could be relatable. And sometimes it's not, especially to like the younger viewers, because they're just like, especially like my kids, they're just like, Miss Morgan, why don't you do this and watch it? It's because that's just not what I'm on right now, basically. So of course, if you don't want to watch it, it's okay. If you want to share it, that's great. If you just want to watch it for yourself, that's amazing, and that's great too. But anyway, so I wanted to stress the importance of encouraging yourself and why it's so important to encourage yourself. Being a millennial, being, a young woman who is in her, now officially her late 20s, I've oftentimes thought, or I've found myself in a place where I'm just like, ugh. Like, why aren't things happening for me? Why is it taking so long? And of course, I've mentioned this in my videos before, but it's no problem in, reiterating and repeating yourself, because the more you repeat, the more things stick. And of course, it stresses the importance of certain things and all that type of stuff. But I've always, not always, but I've found myself in positions where I'm always asking myself, why aren't things happening for me yet? Like, what's going on, and what am I not doing? What am I doing that may be causing me not to be in the position in which I'm looking to be? Or what am I not doing that is preventing me from being where I want to be? And I think a lot of us ask ourselves that question. And it's no problem asking that question, just for the simple fact that we all end up in that space. We've all experienced a setback. Oh, my toenail broke. We've all experienced that space, whether you're experiencing it now, you've experienced it before, but we'll all end up there. And you don't just end up there once, you end up there a few times throughout your journey in this life. So, when you figure out ways to cope and handle it, it makes it easier. But I was speaking with a friend today, and it just kind of like reminded me of where I was a few months ago, a few weeks ago, a few years ago, where I was like asking God, like, hey, my God, do you see me? Like, I'm down here, I have needs, I have wants, I have prayed, why aren't things happening for me? And it's important that you ask God that question, because when you ask the question, He will give you an answer. And what I believe I heard Him say to me is, everything that you've asked for, when it lines up for what I want for you, it's not that you're never going to have it, it's just that it's just not your time to have it right now. And I got caught up, and I'll admit that I got caught up in my phone. I got caught up in looking on social media and seeing what was happening for people, whether they were my friends or they were just people I followed, and just seeing things happen for them. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, wait, like, how is it happening for them but it's not happening for me? Especially when I feel like I asked for it first, you know what I'm saying? Or when I've been in deep prayer about what I want, what I need to happen, and then seeing it happen for someone else, it's never easy to kind of swallow that pill. And so I find myself like upset, and then being upset caused me to be stressed, and then from stress came depression. And so I had to kind of switch my focal point. And so once I switched my mindset, and it wasn't easy switching my mindset. It was very difficult because it's like you want what you want, and when you don't get what you want, it's just like, it's frustrating, it's irritating, it can make you angry, it can make you feel multiple things but happy. Everything but happy is what you could possibly feel. It can make you feel sad, and it could cause you to be distraught and be in despair and be desperate, and nobody wants to feel like that. So I had to switch my mind state, my state of mind. I had to tell myself that everything that I was asking for, God was just saying not yet. And the best thing about the word yet, and what I was telling my friend today, is that the best thing about the not yet is it's not that it will never come. It's just we all work within our time zones. So what someone else has going on, it's because it's their time. And what I have going on or what I don't have going on, it's just that it's just not my time yet. And God is still preparing me and putting me in a position where whatever it is that He's going to give me, it's so that I can handle it. Because if you're just given everything you want when you want it, that doesn't mean that you're capable of nurturing it and taking care of it and being grateful for it. I was talking with my friend, and he was like, sometimes it looks like, things are just being handed to people. And for some people, that is the case. But for those who have to work for it, we have to wait for it, we have to pray for it, we cry about it. When we eventually get it, it just makes us even more grateful. And to be very honest, none of us are where we want to be. We're just comfortable with where we are. And it doesn't mean that you stay there. It just means that you continue to push and you continue to, make it so that you can be as successful as you want to be. Everything starts within the mind. If you tell yourself that you're going to be stressed out and depressed, you're going to be stressed out and depressed. But if you keep telling yourself, like, okay, you know what, I got this, I'll be fine, things are going to happen for me when they're supposed to happen for me, then you'll see positive things start to happen. It's important that we get out of our own way. Our imaginations can sometimes get the best of us. And I was watching, what is his name? Give me a second, because I gotta go into it, because I want to be able to mention his name. If you guys do not follow this man, I need you to, because he's such an encouraging person. His name is, give me a second. And of course my camera might cut off and it might stop recording at some point. It's okay, I'll figure it out. His name is Steven Furtick, and he is the pastor of Elevation Church. And he was just speaking about the imagination and the mind, and how it's so amazing that what could make us full of anticipation can also make us anxious. And so it's important that you get your mind back. You grab a hold of your peace, and you make sure that you've put yourself in a position where your mind isn't rolling around to what if, what if, what if, what if, what if. It's just more so allowing you to live in your moment and to make the best. What is my mom listening to? I forgot what I was saying. Putting your mind in a place where you're able to just think about all good things. I think that's what I was going with that. The more you feed positive energy into yourself, the more you'll get out. And that's the reason why I want to stress the importance of encouraging yourself. You are not going to find people who are always encouraging you, and that's the sad part about it. You're going to find yourself many times where you feel like you're alone, and it's in those moments where you have to encourage yourself. You have to tell yourself, I can do this. This is going to happen for me. You got to speak things into existence. You have to speak things that are not as if they are. I think that's what the Bible says. It says something like that. Speak things that are not as if they are, as if they were. If you want that job, tell yourself that you have it. If you know that it's meant for you, tell yourself that you have it. There's so many things that we want, whether it's a new job, whether we want to, eventually start pushing towards a relationship that will end in marriage, if you want children, if you want an increase in your pay, if you want to buy a home, whatever the case is, if you want it, you have to tell yourself exactly what it is that you want, speak it into existence, and then start working towards it. And like I said, it's hard when you're on social media and you're seeing all these things happening for everybody else, but they're not necessarily happening for you. We see things happening for everybody else, but that's the reason why it's important to stop comparing everybody else's journey to our own. What I was saying, and I didn't realize that the camera had stopped, was that it's important that we do our best not to continuously complain. I was talking with one of my friends over the phone, and he asked me how do I feel about people who complain, and I said one thing about complaining is that every single time you complain, you're reminding yourself exactly what you have. So for instance, if I said, dang, I only have $20, well, I just reminded myself of what I had. Do I have $1,000? No. Do I have $100? No. But I have $20. There are some people who don't even have anything to their name, and so for that you have to be grateful. If I say, damn, I still live at home with my mom, well, I still have a roof over my head. There are some people who don't even have shelter. So it's important that every single time you do say complaint, you kind of think back on, okay, well, exactly what am I complaining about? Because of course there are people who don't have it, and there are people who wish they were in my shoes. And so when it comes to encouraging yourself, the reality of it is that there are not always going to be people around you to feed into you, to pour into your cup. There are not always going to be people who can, give you the positive things in life. It sucks because when you think about your family and your friends and those close to you, you always think that they're always going to be there to feed into you, to pour into you, but that's not always the case. So you always have to remind yourself about, what it is that you want, what it is that you're looking for. I think I might have said that in that last clip, honestly, to be very honest, but if I did, so what? But yeah, it's important that you just dive right into you and, take care of yourself and get out of your own way. And when you need clarity, ask for it. I speak about God because that's who I believe in, but I know for a fact that not everybody's journey is what my journey is. If you're not a Christian, if you don't pray to God, if you have someone else that you pray to, use your faith as your stepping stone and as your foundation to give you the clarity that you need as far as the different steps, the different steps, transitions, whatever in your life. Like, if you need clarity about where you are and where you're trying to go, ask for it. Because sometimes you can get so anxious and you can get so caught up in your brain that you'll end up being stressed about things that you don't necessarily need to be stressed about. Are finances very stressful? Yes. Not having what you think you should have by this time that's very stressful. I'm 27 and there's things that I think that I should have been done by now that I haven't, but I don't stress about it because I just tell myself that I'm going as fast as I'm supposed to go. This life, you only get one. You're not supposed to speed through it. You're supposed to take your time in certain things, and everything that's happening for me right now is supposed to be happening for me right now. Things that are going to happen for me 3 years from now, they're not set for me right now. There's things that I'm just still not mature enough to handle. And so for what is going on for me right now, I'm extremely thankful. I had posted something on Twitter yesterday, and I was saying that you know, being upset with someone because their success. No, being upset with someone because of their success won't make you any more successful. You don't know how hard people have prayed. You don't know how long people have waited. And so you just have to make sure that you're not necessarily paying attention to everything that, you know, to things that everybody else has going on. You have to focus on yourself. Because when you take your eyes off yourself and you focus on other people, you just spent a bulk of time focused on someone else when you could have been putting that energy into yourself. So, you know, if you get nothing else from this video, just encourage yourself. Love yourself enough to know that you will be exactly where it is that you desire to be. It's okay to be in your comfortable state. Just don't stay there. Don't stay stuck. Get people around you that, you know, when you can't encourage yourself, they'll be able to be there for you, to just offer you those words of encouragement, to remind you just how great you are, and that, you know, we're all navigating our way through life. As a young adult, it's very difficult sometimes to just be comfortable with where I'm at, but I've narrowed it down to a few people in my life that I know support me and remind me how important it is to support myself. And of course, God just continues to show me and remind me that He is in complete control over my life, and that if I allow Him to work things out for me, while also doing work myself, because faith without works is dead, that things that I want and things that I'm looking for will happen when they're supposed to happen. So I'm not going to go too far with this video, just because my camera tends to act very stupid sometimes, and it cuts me off, and then sometimes, like, I'll end up repeating something that I said in the video prior to, because, like I told you guys before, my memory my short-term memory is very bad, so I'm probably repeating something in the second half of the video that I said in the first video. I apologize for that, but like I said, if you get nothing else from this video, just continue to encourage yourself. And if you need to, you know, find different ways to cope with certain things, or find different ways to encourage yourself, I mean, you can just kind of like message me below, and then I can just give you some details or some advice on things that I did or am doing, or things that I've done or things that I'm doing currently, to just continue to make sure that I remain in this positive state of mind. I love where I'm at right now. I'm at peace. I'm happy. It feels great. It feels good. I start my new job Monday, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. So, you know, just allow yourself to be where you are, unless you're extremely uncomfortable. And if you're uncomfortable, you know, don't fuss about it. Don't cry about it. You know, give yourself a time limit of how long you're going to feel how you feel, and then start doing something about it. So while encouraging yourself, continue to progress and, you know, do things that will move you forward. I love you guys a lot. Hopefully you learned something from this video. If you like it, of course, you can thumbs up it. You can put a thumbs up. You can put a comment. I'm not big on that. I'm not here for, you know, a whole bunch of followers or a whole bunch of, you know, whatever. I'm just here to, you know, of course, be that person, that positive person, as positive as I can be. Because while I tell you guys things, everything that I say, I apply to myself as well. So enjoy the remainder of your week. Have a great weekend. I love you a lot. Hey to all of my kids who are possibly watching. I miss you. Talk to you guys soon.